Hey.
Hey.
So we're together, we're actually doing tax stuff, but we were sitting here talking. And so we've got lovely Pearl here.
We do.
Look, there she is.
There she is.
In the pram, which is so different. Speaking of our video title of You Don't Have to Hold It All, how much was that such a huge leap for you?
It
Because
was massive.
with baby 1 and 2, you wore them for every sleep.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, or it was I didn't really believe in the capacity to sleep, easily without me. I think was a big edge.
So you don't have to hold it all is really what we want to talk about, because there's going to be limits to your capacity. There's going to be edges that you can take yourself to and edges that some days you're just not going to be able to, and that ultimately you actually don't lose an experience of being able to do that. I'm going to keep talking while Bridget's there. So we're running Aligned Parenting at the moment as a downloadable bundle, and with that you get 2 months free access into soul-driven motherhood, so you can really immerse in the culture, really get yourself back on track if you feel like you're struggling in your motherhood at the moment, gain new tools, understand how all of those gorgeous mamas think in there and how we process the world and our children and therefore how we show up. And if you're already in soul-driven motherhood, that we want you to have 10 days of free coaching with us via a messenger app, because we really want you to be able to do both. We want you to be able to have the content, but really what we want for you is enormous change, enormous wisdom in how you show up and how that looks different to what your world and your reality currently is. So you don't have to be there all the time. I just think that is probably one of the major belief systems that comes with conscious parenting, is that we have to be all things all of the time, and when we're not, that we're damaging our children, that we're irrevocably damaging the relationship or the sense of trust that we've spent so much of our own investment in. And we're hoping that the space that perhaps we feel for you, and particularly in this week's podcast on how do you have boundaries and still parent consciously, is how do you do both? How do you still see this child as this perfect mirrored dynamic reflection of all of the pieces of you that are seeking growth and healing in that moment? And how do you meet those with loving compassion for yourself and still holding the intention, I suppose, with your parenting with your children? And I think when we try and force ourselves into the suit of showing up when our whole body isn't a yes for that, that we teach our children how to listen to their minds and not to their bodies, and that ultimately as a grown-up, that has enormous impact on how they show up in the world, how they feel in the world, how they show up in relationship, and actually how connected and authentic and self-worth they feel they have the capacity to be. And I think that starts with how we show up with them, is what is our true alignment and capacity. Yes, we talk a lot about building and stretching our capacity and our tolerance, regulating our nervous system, stretching into the triggers where we find ourselves, but at the same time having an awareness of, we want you to stretch enough that you grow the muscle, but not so much that you tear the muscle and then you teach your children something that you weren't intending to teach them. So we don't think that you have to meet absolutely everything and force yourself to meet everything and exhaust yourself into meeting everything and then not know who you are in relationship to yourself or in relationship to your partner in the process of that. We do truly believe you can do conscious parenting beyond the physical body requirements and needs.
And I think, when we talk about conscious parenting, it's about conscious parenting, yes, of your child, but also of yourself. So how do you consciously show up as much as you in this dynamic, as much as what you think your child needs? So it's consciousness of your own stuff, but also what you value, also what feels like you and what feels authentic. And that's also going to change, moment to moment sometimes. And how do we bring that to our children while also honouring ourselves in it? And I think that's that constant relationship that we are asking ourselves to stretch into as we meet more of our children, as they grow and as we grow in dynamic with them. I think it's a really fluid relationship that we need to constantly develop capacity for checking in with, and that's really what we teach, and it underlines everything that Nourishing Mother's about. But we principally focus a lot on that in Aligned Parenting, which is our signature parenting course.
So check out Aligned Parenting at nourishingthemother.com.au and scroll on down to the Aligned Parenting link, and you'll see links in our socials as well. So we would love any communications or questions you have, and we'll go from there, and hopefully we'll see you in Soul Driven Motherhood. See ya.
See ya.